Local businesses could see sales go up in smoke as national health warnings and investigations continue.
New information from NTSB about the deadly boat fire off the coast of California.
And the heat and humidity returned again today, but there's relief coming this weekend. I'll have details coming up.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Liz Sepchak.
And I'm Destiny Johnson.
The Centers for Disease Control is investigating illnesses and deaths related to vaping and e-cigarettes. 6 deaths have already been linked to vaping.
The CDC has warned users to avoid the products while the investigation is ongoing. One local vape shop says that business is as good as ever, though. NewsLink Indiana Spencer Blakely spoke to employees at the shop.
With numerous cautions against using e-cigarettes lately, Nick Lacey, an employee at the vape shop in the village, says consumers of e-products haven't been affected.
Still as many people. I guess less people are buying cart batteries now. But I mean, there's still plenty. So.
And when asked whether any changes will come from the investigations, Lacey says it is up in the air for now.
If they actually end up banning e-cigarettes, then yeah.
A lot of people are reading it, but people are dying with vaping. So we're looking at it very closely. And you know, if nothing else, this is a conference that's going to let people know about it because people are going to watch what we're saying.
Wednesday, the Trump administration announced plans to ban flavored e-cigarettes. For now, consumers can still buy the products. Some people think this could be a wake-up call for users.
I don't think it'll drastically change the population that does it, but I think a few people might realize what they're doing is actually bad for their health.
Lacey says e-cigarettes sold in the mainstream market are not the problem.
People selling fake carts is the bigger issue.
The CDC's investigation has not found a direct cause for the 450 illnesses or 6 deaths reported. In Muncie, Spencer Blakely, NewsLink Indiana.
As of today, 39 states have reported illnesses in the U.S. A new enforcement policy is expected in the coming weeks and would remove all flavored e-cigarettes from the shelves unless approved by the FDA. We will continue to update you on more on this developing story.
Speaking of things going up in smoke, a frightening situation for some students this morning prompted the evacuation of Cooper Science Building. Take a look at this right here. This is what caused the scare. Someone put this English muffin in the toaster a little too long this morning. Students were asked to get out of the building roughly around 10:30. University police and fire officials were on the scene. Luckily, minutes later, everyone was allowed to return back to the building. No injuries were reported, only that English muffin a little burnt. But definitely a rough start to the day for sure, Destiny.
Definitely. I was on my way headed to Cooper for a class, and luckily no one got hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Very hot today, too. I'm really hoping that's not a trend we're going to have to see coming up. Gabe, what have you got for us?
Yeah, it's felt more like mid-July to early August lately. We got up to 93 degrees in Muncie today. Similar story across much of the rest of the state. That heat and humidity has led to some thunderstorms developing across east central Indiana this evening. Most of those now beginning to fizzle and weaken as they move on off to the east. Still some rain showers you're experiencing into eastern Delaware County as well as now into portions of eastern Jay and Randolph counties there if you're to the northeast of Winchester. Now, the good news is this is ahead of a cold front that's moving in from the west. That's going to usher in some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, but much cooler air behind it for the weekend. That's the good news. I'll have more details on that coming up in my full forecast.
The U.S. budget deficit has topped a jaw-dropping $1 trillion for the first time in 7 years, and the year isn't even over yet. The Treasury Department reported Thursday that the deficit grew to $1.067 trillion for the first 11 months of the fiscal year. 2018's deficit was just under $900 billion for the entire year. One of the factors driving up the deficit is President Trump's $1.5 trillion tax cuts in 2017. Another factor is the massive spending package passed by Congress. The Department of Housing and Urban Development's internal watchdog has cleared Secretary Ben Carson of any wrongdoing in a plan to spend $31,000 for new office furniture without notifying Congress. The legal limit for redecorating is $5,000. Congress has to be informed if it's above that. The department's Inspector General report says HUD ultimately did not buy the furniture, so no department money was spent.
The 2020 presidential campaign rages on, and polls are showing that Democratic voters are focusing on electability in candidates. Recent polls show former Vice President Joe Biden holding a narrow lead over Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Camila Bernal has the report.
For many Democratic voters, the question continues to be, who can beat Trump in 2020?
Nothing can stop us, because winning is what Americans do. Winning is what we know best.
But the 10 presidential hopefuls who are set to debate in Houston all say they can take on the president.
This is a fight we will win.
The answer to Donald Trump is not playing his game.
Together, we will make Donald Trump a one-term president.
A recent poll showing that 55% of those questioned are more likely to say they want the party to nominate a candidate with a strong chance of beating Trump. Only 39% said they're looking for a candidate who shares their position on major issues.
I got a plan for that. In fact, I got multiple plans for this.
The polls also showing that ahead of the debate, Joe Biden continues to lead at 24%.
He cannot, and I will not, let this man be reelected president of the United States of America.
In second place, with 18%, Elizabeth Warren, who will share the debate stage with Biden for the first time. Bernie Sanders in third place. Only 3 other candidates polling at 5% or more: Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, and Beto O'Rourke.
And I want to make sure that I'm representing their interests and serving them as president of the United States.
The remaining candidates all score 2% or less. I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
The third Democratic debate is currently underway in Houston. The top 10 candidates are debating against each other for the first time. The debate will go on until 11 tonight on ABC.
The man charged with gunning down nearly 24 people inside a Texas Walmart could be sentenced to death. Prosecutors plan to seek the death penalty against Patrick Cruces. Today, an El Paso grand jury indicted the 21-year-old on 22 counts of capital murder. A trial date has not been set. 20 people died after being shot inside an El Paso Walmart on August 3rd.
The NTSB's preliminary report on a dive boat that sank off the coast of California on Labor Day says it did not have a crew member on roving overnight watch. The roving overnight watch was required by the conception certificate. The report says a sleeping crew member was awakened by a noise, got up to investigate, and saw a fire on the boat. That crew member alerted the rest of the crew, and the captain radioed a distress message. 34 people ended up dying in that incident.
The certificate for this vessel required that there be constantly a roving watch person to keep an eye on the safety of the vessel. And the interviews to this point have indicated that that did not transpire.
The Coast Guard and NTSB will continue to investigate. Experts say the primary fire risks on board such boats include the fuel, the engine, the electrical components, and any kitchen appliance, if that ship does include a galley. And a folk legend is coming to town in November. We'll tell you when and where you can get those tickets next.
And a local organization that helps those in need has a new facilities. Details when we come back.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone? No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back. A new study out of Ball State finds that nearly a third of Americans are sleep deprived. The study took place from 2010 to 2018 and analyzed over 150,000 working adults.
It found that professions with the highest levels of sleep deprivation are police and military, as well as healthcare workers. From 2010 to 2018, sleep deprivation went up by 5% in both men and women. The study emphasizes the need for help from medical professionals to help combat the problem.
And a big name is coming to town this fall. Bob Dylan will be performing in Muncie this November at Emmons Auditorium. Dylan and his band are set to take the stage November 2nd. Tickets can be purchased starting tomorrow at 10 in the morning. You can buy your tickets at the Emmons box office, on the phone, or online through Ticketmaster.
If you want something to do before the folk legend arrives, the annual Muncie Bridge Dinner will be next week. This is a video from a previous year's dinner. Muncie's Bridge Dinner will take place September 19 from 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening on the historic Washington Street Bridge. The event is free and open to the public. The dinner includes live music, food, and local vendors. A free shuttle will take students to the event at 5:15 and 5:30 and will pick them up at 7:30 and 7:45. Some in Muncie are turning their attention to those in need of an outlet for work. NewsLink Indiana's Annie Keister has the story.
Many came, and some sang in celebration of the ribbon cutting for the Hillcroft Services' new facility. Hillcroft provides its clients with special needs, servicing them with careers, friendship, and a family.
We do rings, we do information packets, we do a lot of different things.
The group is excited to continue to expand, spending the evening showing off all of the new amenities of their new space.
Well, the new building, what we're standing in right now, is our workshop area. And on the other side, we have administrative offices in the middle, and then we have our music therapy and our therapy classes.
And Hillcroft is honoring the new building, passing out sunglasses like these, reminding us all that the future is bright.
People were asking about ideas to tell them about this, and that was actually my idea.
And the future is bright indeed. At Hillcroft, the clients come to the services for a place to work with hands-on jobs, receiving pay at the end of the week, but the clients here keep coming back for so much more than just a paycheck.
The staff, they're so nice and friendly.
In Muncie, Annie Keister, NewsLink, Indiana.
The new building is located just minutes off McGalliard. You can contact them on Facebook for more information.
And what a cool event right there. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Gabe, I'm really hoping that's going to stick with us.
Yeah, it looks like next week will be good, though cooler temperatures are also on the way this weekend. I'll have the details after the break.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Action!
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. Weather today, pretty warm out, guys. I'm really hoping that's not going to stick with us.
Very warm. I know that we have some good weather coming up for this exciting weekend. How about that weather, Gabe?
Yeah, I was in Alabama the first half of this week, and I feel like I brought the heat and humidity back with me.
Oh,
the good news is,
just go
I know,
back.
you know what? I will. But the good news is, it's not going to last too much longer. We have to get through tomorrow, but after that, it really starts to feel a lot nicer as you step out the door. Currently, though, right now, we did cool off a bit thanks to that rain earlier. It's 75 right now in Muncie. Winds out of the east at 11 miles per hour, but check out that dew point, still at 70 degrees. That causes it to just feel humid as you step out the door, and that's not going to change really much over the next 24 hours. Radar is quieting down. Look at this. Watch these storms moving from the north and dissolve really over the last hour or so. We've been tracking them as they've approached east central Indiana, dropping some heavy rain at times. Notice there still is an aerial flood advisory in effect for portions of Grant and Blackford County. That extends until the end of the newscast at 9:30 p.m. A similar advisory in place for another part of eastern Blackford, as well as extending into western Jay counties. That extends into 10:15 p.m. So if you're headed out tonight, just be aware that some of those low-lying areas may see some flooding. The showers aren't going to last too much longer, as you saw on radar, beginning to dissolve now, and by midnight, I think we'll be clear and dry. And that continues through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning will start out pretty nice, partly cloudy conditions before we start to see some clouds approach from the west ahead of an approaching cold front. You can see those clouds moving in around 2 p.m. And as we move later on into the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see those showers and thunderstorms approach along with that cold front, likely forming as part of a line stretching from north to south. Those will move their way eastward through the early evening hours to late afternoon and clear us out by Friday night and into Saturday morning. So this rain will not impact your weekend. The weekend is shaping up to be pretty nice. The only thing we really have to deal with over the next few hours is the heat and humidity. We really don't cool off that much this evening, and by tomorrow morning we're already back up to 76 degrees. And that heat and humidity continues to build in for mid-September up to around the 86-degree mark here in Muncie. But look at what this cold front does. As it moves in from the west, we see those temperatures drop down into the lower 50s, down to 52 degrees Friday night and Saturday morning. And it stays nice and refreshing for your Saturday. So that's the good news. For tonight, 71 degrees, as I mentioned, not cooling off all that much. Those scattered storms beginning to end now, as you saw earlier on radar and precision cast. And as we move into tomorrow, those storms will mainly impact your afternoon. The morning looks to be dry if you're headed out for your classes in the morning. Those should be a go. Though grab that umbrella if you're headed out in the afternoon and evening, or even the raincoat, as those winds will be a little gusty out of the southwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour. But if you have family coming in this weekend, or you're coming here to Ball State for family weekend, it looks to be a beautiful day on Saturday, 79 degrees, partly cloudy skies, nice and refreshing air. And the rest of the weekend looks to be a similar story. Check this out. Sunday as well, 83 degrees, partly cloudy skies. This is a great, beautiful weekend. It doesn't feel too hot or humid, but just nice and refreshing. And the summer temperatures, though, continue through the rest of next week. The good news is, it looks like we'll be staying dry. So really, if you're not quite ready for fall, this is a pretty good looking forecast overall.
My unair-conditioned apartment is very excited for this forecast.
Yeah, so see, I'm trying to hang on for summer as long as possible, but if you're without air conditioning, it's not so good.
Yeah, definitely excited for those temperatures for the football game this weekend. The football team is 1-1 for their season. They are kicking off family weekend against a team they haven't seen since 2016. We've got your football preview after the break.
That's right, and high school football is also in full swing. We went to practice at Yorktown and Delta to see how they're preparing for Friday Night Lights.
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Colton Howard with sports. This week's high school football game of the week features rivals Yorktown and Delta, both looking to continue their impressive start to the season. As each team prepares for the game, they focused on the little things to ensure players are ready to go. Delta is coming into the game with a record of 3-0, and Yorktown is coming in with a record of 2-1. Yorktown wants to improve after last week's loss to New Palestine, while Delta hopes to continue strong play from last week's win against Shelbyville.
You always throw out the records for a game like that. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. They have a very good team this year that's 2-1, and we're 3-0, and I just expect it to be very competitive and a good football game.
We can always improve on some of those personal decisions of playing hard and blocking to the whistle and running to the football on defense. So we'll always stress that, and that's what we need to do this week against Delta also, is execute the game plan, execute and know our scouting reports, but also play hard on every single play.
These teams are no strangers to each other. Kickoff time is set for 7:30 on Friday night. Ball State women's soccer team hits the road to the Sunshine State this weekend. The undefeated Cardinals put their perfect record on the line against 2 tough Florida opponents. Starting this Friday, the 13th, scary, in Boca Raton, the women take on Florida Atlantic University. The last time these two teams met, 2009, where FAU held BSU scoreless in a 3-0 victory. Their second matchup to this weekend moves to Fort Myers against Florida Gulf Coast. Sunday's contest marks the first ever meeting between BSU and FGCU. Both Friday and Saturday's matches will be streamed online. Head to ballstatesports.com for more info and to watch the stream. And women's soccer is not the only one squaring off against Florida Atlantic this weekend. Ball State's football hosts the Owls on Saturday at Schumann Stadium. Did I mention it's family weekend? Because it is. The Cardinals entered the game 1-1 on the season, coming off an impressive 57-29 win last weekend over Fordham, behind Plitt's 439 yards and 6 touchdown passing performance. FAU is 0-2, but faced one of the most daunting starts to any team in the country with matchups against 2 top 25 opponents. The Owls are now in their 3rd season under former Tennessee, USC, and Oakland Raiders head coach Lane Kiffin. Ball State's running back Walter Fletcher says efforts will be their biggest part and their biggest weapon on Saturday.
I think if we just play our game, I think, I know we can come out and beat any team that we play. But, like I said, with effort, if we bring effort, we play our game, we come out with confidence, we can beat anyone. So I think we'll be all right.
Confidence, man. The last meeting between the two teams was in 2016. Ball State beat Florida Atlantic on the road. Saturday's game is only the 2nd time these two schools have ever met. You can catch the game on ESPN+.
And some people, when they go to the stadium, they really want that stadium food. But we're talking about Popeyes coming up.
Popeyes?
Popeyes.
I hope they have that chicken sandwich there.
Yes.
Because I have been going crazy to try one.
I know. They're going BYOB.
Okay.
Not so fast, though. It's not the B you're thinking of. We've got that and more in trending after the break.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Time to take a look now at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Brittany Dobbins. What do you have for us?
Good evening, guys. Tonight, Popeyes is going BYOB. Bring your own bun, that is. The chicken restaurant chain is encouraging customers to bring their own bun after the chain ran out of their new chicken sandwich. The customers can order its 3-piece tenders and make their own sandwich right there on the spot. In the meantime, Popeyes promises the coveted chicken sandwich will be back in restaurants soon. Not only was a new chicken sandwich released, but also Jersey Shore star Mike the Situation Sorrentino was released from federal prison today. Sorrentino is now free to live his best life after serving 8 months in federal prison for tax evasion. He was also ordered to do community service and pay a $10,000 fine. Sorrentino was found guilty in January 2018 and was sentenced in October. He surrendered in January 2019. Sorrentino responded to his release with, "We are elated to finally close this chapter of our life. Thank you to our family and fans for the continuous love." I love that because he's always so positive and it's always so positive going into going to prison. So I think it's great to even come out of prison positive.
Yeah. You know, it's been a situation, this weather we've been having, it's been so hot, Gabe. I really hope it's not going to stay with us.
Yeah, we have to get through tomorrow, but there's relief this weekend. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s, though we do have a return to those summer-like temperatures through the rest of next week, though no rain really in the forecast other than tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thanks, Gabe. That's all for us for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at noon, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night.